limit tangent of x minus x over x cubed, x tends to 0. You check the type. Tangent 0 minus 0 over 0 cubed. Tangent 0 is sine 0 over cosine 0, 0 over 0. You can use L'Hopital rule. So let's do that. Limit x to 0, tangent prime secant square minus 1, 3 x squared. Now check your type again. You have secant square of 0 minus 1 over 0. Secant square, the secant is 1 over cosine. So cosine 0 minus 1 over 0. Cosine 0 is 1, so 1 minus 1 over 0. 0 over 0. So again, you need to use, we can use L'Hopital rule. So let's do that. Derivative of secant square. So 2 times secant of x times secant of x prime. So I use the chain rule here. 1 prime is 0. 3 times, so 6 times x. So let's just write down limit x to 0, 2 secant of x, secant prime, secant, tangent, secant prime, secant times tangent, secant x times tangent x divided by 6 times x. Now we good. This one you can write all in sine and cosine. Limit x to 0, 2 times secant square, right? Secant square, cosine square, x, tangent x, sine over cosine, divided by 6 times x. Now you have limit x to 0, 2 times, or 2 I can bring it out because it's just a number. Sine x up there, down there you have, I can bring 6 out, so 1 over 3. Down there you have x times cosine cube of x. Now look at this. We have sine and cosine here. I can separate that into 2 to make it easier. 1 over 3, limit x to 0. 1 is sine x divided by x. 1 is 1 over cosine cube x, x to 0. So I hope you understand this step. I separate that into this one and this one, because I know that this term when you give me is 1. 1 over cosine 0 cube. So 1 over 1. So it really depends on this one. But we know that sine x over x tend to 1 when x tends to 0. And if you want, you can do L'Hopital rule for this. 1 over 3 times 1 times 1. The answer is 1 over 3.